Good afternoon, all of you. I think today there are so many new students who are joining. So this is public speaking class. I will repeat the previous lessons, whatever I have discussed, then I will discuss today's topic. So public speaking, is a skill when you have to go to like any public platform, you have to speak at that time and you have to be very confident. You should have the knowledge about the topic. So this is public speaking. Okay, let's start. Okay, so our topic is public speaking. So what is public speaking? It is basically a presentation that is given live before an audience. So public speeches can cover a wide variety of different topics. The goal of the speech may be to educate, entertain, or influence the listeners. Often visual aids in the form of an electronic slideshow are used to supplement the speech. This makes it more interesting to the listeners. So public presentation is different from an online presentation. The online presentation is available anytime. A public speech is typically limited to a specific time or place. Online presentations often use slideshows or they use pre-recorded videos of a speaker. This includes recordings of a live public speaking presentation. Because speaking in public is done before a live audience, you need to consider some special factors. We will touch on those shortly. Now you have got an understanding of the meaning of public speaking. So let's take a quick look at the history of public speaking. So what is the importance? If you ask most people, they will probably say they don't like public space. They may even admit to being afraid of it, since fear of public speaking is a very common fear. So they may just be shy or introverted. So for those reasons, people may avoid speaking in public if they can. So if you are one of those people who avoid speaking in public, you are missing out. Okay, so you should have your confidence, you have better research skills, stronger deductive skills, ability to advocate for causes and more. How to become better at public speaking? Writing the speech, overcoming a fear of speaking, practicing the speech, preparing a presentation, slide design, giving the speech. The first thing you will want to do is work on writing a well-organized, engaging speech, because even a great speaking voice or a great deal of charisma is not enough if your material is not any good. So your like material should be very good. You have to overcome the fear of speaking. Fear of public speaking is very real and can hold you back if you let it. If you don't feel confident when giving a speech, your listeners may pick up on that. So this can make your presentation less effective. So fortunately, there are some techniques to help manage the fear of speaking in public. They also help you become more confident. Even if you are not afraid of speaking in public, practice helps you give a more effective speech. If you are in a rush, you may be tempted to skip practicing a speech to save time. While skipping practice may seem like a good idea, it's really not. So practicing your speech improves your public presentation skill. It also increases your familiarity with the presentation. As a result, your speech will go smoothly. The tutorial includes a handy checklist to help you practice. Prepare your presentation slide designs. You have to give the speech. You have written a good speech, and you will feel more confident about giving a speech in public, and you have practiced. So you are ready to actually give the speech. There are some tips and tricks you can use on the day of the speech to make it go more smoothly and tough. So remember, you are giving a presentation to a live audience. So you have to remember, will the audience be able to hear me? Or does the venue have the equipment you need? Are there enough seats for all my listeners? All these things you have to keep in mind. Public speaking examples. So, like, do you understand what I am saying? So, we are discussing public speaking. So, what are the things you have to keep in mind when you speak in front of public? You should have better research skills, like what you have decided to speak. You should have a great knowledge on it. Then you should have great confidence. You should overcome the fear of speaking in public. All these things you need to overcome. Okay, so if you being a confident speaker, it's a skill many folks don't learn in schools, yet it's one of the most important skill for career success. To begin to develop the confidence, we have to break down the types of presentation. So, in fact, according to virtual speech, being a clear and effective public speaker is important. They say it can help with career advancement, confidence boosting, critical thinking, personal development, networking, become a better listener, all these things. Four types of public speaking are ceremonial speaking. Ceremonial speaking is when you give a speech on a special occasion. So, for instance, a graduation speech or an office party. These types of speeches often involve a personal or emotional connection to the people you are speaking to. The keys to a ceremonial speech include personal touch. When giving a ceremonial speech, you will want to give it a personal touch. So, this means including a story that goes along with what or whom you're talking about. Occasion focused ceremonial speech means to speak to the occasion. This is not the time to bring up anything other than who or what is being celebrated. Demonstrative speaking, if you are in the technology field or any field where processes are part of your work, demonstrative speaking is a skill you will want to cultivate. The demonstrative speaking is simply put explaining how to do something. Informative speaking is if you have ever attended a Monday morning meeting, the chances you have heard an informative speech. Informative speeches are those that simply give vital company-wide team information. Okay. Informative speaking is often in a meeting form that being able to lead it is important because facilitate conversations, being able to facilitate a productive conversation will set you apart and help build your authority, build credibility. For the most part, people don't enjoy being in meetings. They believe it is a waste of time. If you are able to hold a productive meeting, you will build your credibility, cultivate leadership skills. Part of giving an informative speech is understanding how to keep the focus on the information at hand. Persuasive speaking is speaking with the goal in mind to convince your audience of your idea or point of view. Tone of voice, your tone of voice will make a huge impact on your persuasive speech. Body language, your hand gestures, eye contact, and posture are tools that can use to improve your persuasive speech. Crafting your message when giving a persuasive speech, you will want to make sure that you take time to craft your message. Start off with the most interesting part. Tailor your message to your audience. Think about what your audience wants to hear. So there are different kinds of public speaking. You have to be ready about what you are talking about. So these are benefits of public speaking. According to the Association of American Colleges and Universities, there are a core set of skills that are necessary both for a globally engaged democracy and for dynamic innovation. So in the category of intellectual and practical skills, public speaking is listed as one of the core skills. Okay, personal people don't just give presentation on the job and in classes. At times, we are called upon to give speeches in our personal lives. So it may be for a special event such as toast at a wedding. We may be asked to give a eulogy at a funeral for a friend or loved one. So as a part of volunteer work, one may have to introduce a guest speaker at an event or present or accept an award for service. Developing the skill to give these types of speeches can help us to fulfill essential roles in our family and community. Another great personal benefit of public speaking is that it builds self-confidence. There's no surprise that speaking in public is scary, but by engaging in the activity, you will build self-confidence through the experience. The professionals, TV announcers, teachers, lawyers, entertainers must be able to speak well, but most of the professions require or at the very least can benefit from the skills found in public speaking. Learning about public speaking will allow you to participate in democracy at its very basic level. So public speaking is important in creating and sustaining a society which includes informed and active participants. So even if you do not plan to run for office, learning about the public speaking helps you to listen more carefully to and critically evaluate other speeches. Listening and critical thinking allow you to understand public dilemmas, form an opinion about them, and participate in solving them. The progress of the past century involving segregation, women's rights, and environment protection are the result of people advancing new ideas and speaking out to others to persuade them to adopt changes. The models of communication should be clear by now that public speaking happens all around us in many segments of our lives. However, to truly understand what is happening within these presentations, we need to take a step back and look at some of the key components of the communication process. So this is the model of communication, like sender, channel, and receiver. So transactional model communication, models of communication have evolved significantly since Shannon and Weaver first proposed their well-known conceptual model over 60 years ago. So this is the like communicator, and it's the message. It's in going to the channel, and the it is the worldview. So there are so many concepts like analogy, worldview, so many things. Okay, I'm having some screen problems. Maybe it will get disconnected. Okay, I'm continuing. However, it long it will go. Okay, so these were some example of public speaking. Now we were discussing about storytelling. So what is storytelling? So storytelling requires when you are working for an industry, in a company, and you have to like make your material. You have to make the publicity of your material, your content, so that time you need to create good content so that the public, customers will trust you, will buy your product. So this is storytelling. So let us discuss about storytelling in a little bit. So it is an art, it is not a process, method, or technique. And like art, it requires creativity, vision, skill, and practice. So storytelling is not something you can grasp in one sitting because it is a skill you have to practice and you have to acquire it. So it's a trial and error process of mastery. It sounds like a lot of work, but rightfully so, because storytelling is a crucial part of the most successful marketing campaigns. So it sets vibrant brands apart from simple business and loyal consumers from one-time stop-in shoppers. It's also the heart of inbound marketing. Storytelling is an incredibly valuable tool for you to add to your proverbial marketing tool belt. That's why we have compiled this guide to help you discover and understand storytelling and weave gorgeous, compelling tales for your audience. So since the dawn of human language, storytelling has been how cultures pass on shared beliefs and values. So some of the stories told today come from stories our ancestors were sharing over 6,000 years ago. So every person has a story, but the art of storytelling can make a story transformative. Narrative, while the setting will influence what a story can be, all great stories have a narrative, a spoken or written account of events. So, for example, stand up comics sometimes tell stories during a set. The structure, setting, and details of this narrative may not feel the same as they do in a Shakespeare play, but both storytellers are sharing a narrative. Attention grabbing, you have to grab the customer's attention. So it's not just enough to tell about the story, but storytelling resonates with people, grabs their attention. There are many ways to grab the attention. Another way to captivate your audience is to add details that bring your story to life. Interactive, it should be interactive. Storytelling is not just a story that you tell, so it's also the way that your audience responds and engages. Some kind of storytelling requires the reader to take part in the story, but with most stories, interactions comes from the relationship that the audience builds with the storyteller. That feeling of connection and interaction is essential to storytelling. So this is all about storytelling. So what I was saying that every brand has a story. Now brand storytelling is gaining momentum in the marketing world and with good reason. The stories are scientifically proven to get a person's attention. So in fact, stories stimulate brain activity. So, but there is a lot of confusion around the idea of brand storytelling. So by narrative, we mean storytelling elements. A story includes characters, setting, conflict, rising action, climax, and denouement. So importantly, the main character in your brand story is not you, it's your customer. Your customer has to be the hero to make this work. Your brand is the guide. This is the brand story. By what we stand for, we mean the essence of a brand. So it's not the product you sell, but it's not to make money. It's the driving force behind your business, and it differentiates you from the competition. So ideally, you can encapsulate what you stand for in just 2, 3 words. Okay. Values are the character traits of your company, and the company's value are the best behaviors of your best employees on their best days. So storytelling is very important for the brand because you are advertising your brand to the customers, to the world, so that they will feel the attention, feel the importance to buy your product. So I will show you on video next day how to advertise your brand. So until this one, do you have any doubt? Okay, so if you don't have any doubt, I'll conclude this session here. Thank you for your interest.